So I'd like to welcome everyone to the seventh session of the Ontario Education Summit. Tonight we have with us from Montreal, Jason Steill, who's going to be our guest speaker. The topic I know has intrigued many of you because many of you have emailed me and asked, what's this going to be about? And I've pretty much told you, knowing this guy, who knows? So I just had a peek at the presentation now, so your guess is as good as mine. But Jay has officiated for a number of years, both nationally and internationally, garnering a number of international assignments through his FIBA card, as well as doing a number of national assignments. Also works with the CEBL panel here in Canada, as well as the U Sport panel and University panel in Quebec. Had the pleasure of attending the camp there 3 years ago before kind of COVID hit us and shut us down. But I had a blast there with him and many of his colleagues, including many that are on the call tonight. I know I got to meet Pierre Marion through that, as well as Max MP and many others. So hopefully at some point, if we get back to camps, that would be one I would highly suggest you give to your members if they're looking for something out of province. But Jay, the floor is yours. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, and glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. This is a great day by Dan and the Peel region and Tabo and Ontario and CBOC and everyone. And I'm honored and glad to be here. Thanks for reaching out and asking me to jump on this thing. So we'll get right into it with the presentation. I'll start sharing my screen.
Jay, I'm gonna mute everyone, so you'll have to unmute yourself again.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll get right into this right away. I don't know how long of the presentation it will be. It shouldn't be too long. There are a couple of videos and stuff like that. If we do, get out of here or get this over within 20 minutes, I've got some bonus stuff afterwards that we would be able to get onto. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen. If it allows me to share screen. Boom. Share. There you go. Jump on here. Jump on this. If anybody has any issues or anything with the with what's going on or any questions, put them in the chat or send me a wave or whatever the case may be. I don't know how much access to things I'm going to have as I'm sharing my screen and you're seeing what I'm seeing. But if there's anything, let me know. So the name of the presentation is I Spy with My Little Eye, and we're going to talk about game awareness. I've been on all the other calls that have happened, and a lot of them tie in with the same theme, or there's the same message over and over, just said differently. So there's going to be a lot of stuff on here that you'll see that has been said already or said in a different way. But it's how you receive it and what you take from it. So we'll go with that. All right. So I Spy with My Little Eye, game awareness. Let me look at some of the participants in here. And I'm going to stop right here. Eric Lunn. Eric Lunn. If you can hear me, I'd like you to unmute yourself and give me your definition of game awareness.
Wow. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's being aware of your partners and the players and the clocks and what's going on with the table and what's going on with the coaches at the benches. Are they calm? Are they getting a little bit upset, frustrated? It's just an overall being aware of everything that you need to be aware of, which is a lot.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Jordan B., your definition of game awareness, please. Jordan, can you hear me? No? Moving along. Kelly Clark. Kelly Clark, if you could unmute yourself and give me your definition of game awareness.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My definition would be being aware of the game temperature, bench decorum, foul awareness, game clock, your partners, that kind of thing.
Perfect. And I'm gonna go one more. Boop, 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 boop. Mike Para or Mike Paras. Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, of course I'll have to go after everybody else has taken all my thanks.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, you know, basically I think game awareness is like Kelly kind of said, is taken, for me anyway, is taking game temperature. You want to make sure that you are aware of any actions by you or players that change the tone of the game. And you got to be aware quickly, because things can go sideways in a hurry if you're not aware of what's happening around you in certain situations. So that's one of my big things with game awareness.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's take a deep dive into what game awareness can be or is or should be. What's going on here? There you go. Game awareness. Definition of awareness. Knowledge or perception of a situation or a fact. You can see those synonyms for awareness, and just add the word game to those synonyms, and you'll get your definition of what game awareness is. Game awareness, back in the day, we used to call this a feel for the game. However, how can we be more specific about what this actually means? So I'm going to play this video twice. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. I'm going to play this video twice, take a look at it, and then there's going to be a poll afterwards. So hopefully it doesn't freeze. After I play it the first time, if it's freezing or anything, let me know, and we'll play it as many times as we can before it, so it looks good. Was that choppy?
Yeah, you can probably play it one more time, Jay.
Will do. I'll play it again. Hopefully it wasn't too choppy.
This time will probably be a little bit smoother.
And I'll play it just one last time. Trying to kill time here. Okay, hopefully that was good enough for everybody. I am going to get back into the poll now. I got to stop sharing my screen. Poll. Here we go. I'm launching the poll. Do I got to share my screen, or I can launch the poll just like that, Dan?
Should be fine just from there.
Boom.
There you go. So we'll give about 30 seconds for you to vote on the poll.
Absolutely. Based on the video you just saw.
So we'll give a few more seconds because we got.
Can you choose more than one, Jay?
No, you can only choose one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll give a few more seconds here to be able to fill it in. We have 35 right now. We have 76 on the call, so give you a chance to get your vote in, but we're going to give about maybe 10 more seconds here. So if you haven't voted, get your vote in. Go 5 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Oh, 10, 5. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. End polling. Share results. Here we go. Boom. So 38% say there's a missed travel. 25% say there's a missed rotation from the official. 23% say the lead official is in a close down on the drive to the basket. And 15% say that there's an error with the shot clock. So I am going to close this. I'm going to go back to share my screen. Boom. I'm going to play this video again. Team A has the ball. Team B has steals the ball. New team possession. Oh, sorry. Previous. Team A has the ball. Team B, new team control. New team control. New team control. Shot clock above the basket. What's the shot clock at above the basket? 12 seconds. We've had a new team control. The shot clock goes down. Some of you think that this is a travel. I don't think so. But yet we force the new offensive team to shoot the ball within 12 seconds. Game awareness. Oh, I can go back to that. You guys still see my screen? Good. Yeah?
Yeah, we can still see it.
Next. Play this video. Play that for you guys again. And one last time. All right. I got to stop sharing my screen again, right? Stop sharing. Launch poll. Launch poll. Everybody can see the poll good?
Yeah, it's good.
Hey Jay, if we got the last one right, are we all getting new CBOC shirts like you guys get?
Yeah, we'll send them to
There's
you.
only
Hopefully,
15% of us, okay? I'm just saying it's a low percentage, okay? Winner, chicken dinner. That's all I gotta say.
Another 10 seconds or so. All right, and polling. Here we go. And share results. So please choose the correct statement. The official incorrectly calls a travel violation. The official actually correctly called a travel violation. There's an error with the shot clock. The blue team is in a 1-3-1 defensive setup. and there's a missed rotation by the official. The answer, of course, is the blue team is in a 1-3-1 defensive setup. That's something we need to be aware of. Let's try this. So here we have one defender, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 1. So 1, 3, 1. All right. Game awareness. Next. Last video. Hopefully it's all right. Stop sharing. Poll. And last one. Please choose the correct statement. Give you another 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. So clearly, yes, the shot clock should be reset to 24 seconds. That's actually a tricky play. Pretty good video that happened to me in a game. Let's go back to sharing screen. Click on this thing, share, and click here. So let's play that one more. As the player is going after the ball, when he takes that first dribble, that is clear cut team. And therefore the shot clock should be reset to 24. Okay, to summarize the aspects of game awareness: awareness in game control, awareness in clock control, awareness in the game of basketball, awareness in position and play calling, awareness in communication, and awareness in rules knowledge, to me, all equal game awareness. Let's take a deep dive into game awareness in game control, or game control in game awareness. Always be aware of game clock and shot clock operations. Always be aware of possible substitutions. Always be aware of coaches vacating their respective coaching area. Always be aware of bench personnel standing during any live ball. Be aware of anything outside the playing court that could have a direct effect in the safety of the players on the court. That's game awareness in game control. Game awareness in clock control. This is direct from one of the FIBA manuals. I'm not sure which one, but one of them. The control of the game and shot clock by referees has become a standard routine nowadays. Years ago, it was practically non-existent, or at least very rare. It has also been previously questioned as to how a referee is able to fully control the clocks almost all the time and still focus fully on the play situations. The secret is in the correct technique and appropriating timing. This, combined with thousands of repetitive actions practice, will ensure it becomes an automatic skill, meaning developed and maintained in your muscle memory. The basic element being that the game clock will be controlled every time there's a new team control. So for the younger officials, or just for any officials on this call, those games that we go do that are 40-point blowouts or 30-point blowouts, or there's nothing going on, or you're thinking about dinner, you're thinking about the next game you're doing, you're thinking about your knees because it's your 4th game in the day, you're thinking about that bottle of Chardonnay, whatever it is, those are the types of games where you would apply this technique. And when you master this technique at the lower levels or the quote unquote unchallenging games, it becomes second nature. And that is how we become a master of controlling clocks and have game awareness when it comes to clock control. Normally it is the outside referees, trail and center, or trail if it's 2-person, who have the primary responsibility for shot clock violations. Also, the lead should be aware of the time on the shot clock and to be ready to assist trail and center in their decisions. It is vital for referees to know when the shot clock period is nearing its end to be able to make correct decisions in shot clock situations. At all times, the active referees administering a throw-in should check the shot clock and game clock to be sure it is set correctly. This must be done before the referee passes the ball to a thrower in. Sidetrack here. I am not a huge fan of NCAA basketball. I don't like the way the game is officiated. I don't like the way the game is played, the 30-second shot clock, all of that stuff. There is one thing that the NCAA referees do phenomenally when the ball is settled in the front court that helps with clock control. Can anybody unmute and tell me what that is? Yes, Maxence Coulombe, go ahead.
If I didn't check the March Madness this year, but if I remember correctly, they point at the shot clock when it's at 10 seconds.
Yes. So every time the shot clock is settled, we are settled in the front court and we are at 10 seconds. The weak side official points, or center official, I'm not sure, I haven't read their manual, but one of the 2 outside officials, when the shot clock gets to 10 seconds, points at the shot clock. Therefore, he knows now the shot clock is at 10, so we've only got 10 seconds left. And if his partners pick up on that motion, they will know that there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock. I think that's a huge trigger and a great nugget. And it's something that I try to do. I don't point per se, but I try to make myself aware of the shot clock exactly when we get to 10 seconds. This might be choppy. I'll play it 3 times. There's no polling question after this, but take a look. One more time. Anybody want to raise their hand and tell me what they noticed in this video?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shot clock already ran out.
Already ran out?
It went to 0.
No, that's not it.
Jason, can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe all 3 officials ran in, and there should be at least 2 going in and 1 observing.
That's not it either. It's not a fight situation. Good try.
I got you, Jason.
Yeah.
The game clock stopped for about a half a second there. So if it hadn't stopped, the shot clock would have went off before the shot was released.
Absolutely. So everybody forget about what the referees are doing. Forget about the scrum on the floor. If it's not too choppy, just take a look at the game clock and shot clock. Game awareness, clock control. Is that basket good or no good?
No good. Ball was still in his hand when the shot clock went off.
There you go. Game awareness, clock control continued. Pick up the game clock. This is directly from the FIBA manual. Pick up the game clock. Pick up the last 2 digits of the game clock. Example, 6:26. Pick up the 26. Whenever you have to correct the shot clock, you know the game clock time and when the shot clock period started. Example, 6:26, new team possession. Ball goes out of bounds. Shot clock is reset by mistake. When the game clock shows 6:10, the referee can determine the shot clock with some basic mathematics. 26 minus 10 equals 16. Therefore, 16 seconds has elapsed. The new correct shot clock time is 8 seconds. So that's something we should be trying to do in these games, is picking up the last 2 digits of the clock if it's visible for you to see up on a board or whatnot. Game awareness. Communication is a part of game awareness. Officials must recognize situations that need addressing through proper communication. This communication may be with a coach, player, partner, or table officials. There's an S missing, sorry. Being able to identify and be aware of these situations help with game awareness in its totality. Note, being aware of situations that don't need verbal communication is just as important. Example, talking to a coach during live ball, expressing something to a partner, the whole gym can hear. And I know, that's an example, but yes, that does happen where everybody's lined up for free throws. We're about to step in and administer 2 free throws. Hey, partner, that wasn't a good call. I hope nobody would say that. Or, hey, partner, that was a good call. That might not be the time and place for you to communicate that with a partner. Positioning and play calling, game awareness. Officials must have an awareness of court positioning to aid in play calling. Officials must be attentive of, am I stationary? That's an IOT. IOT is an individual officiating technique. Do I have an open angle, position adjust? That's an IOT. IOT is an individual officiating technique. I'm just getting all my points here with CBOC, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. Did I see the entire play? Start, develop, finish. Is this my primary coverage area? PCA. Was my partner in the right position? Closed angle. Did we have similar plays on the other end, one end to the other? Having a consciousness of these factors directly affects play calling. So being aware of your positioning can directly or indirectly affect your play calling. And aware of their role on this play. Moving on to rules knowledge, game awareness and rules knowledge. Having awareness of a rule infraction, but being unable to penalize an infraction due to the lack of rule knowledge is like having $1 million, but you're on the same island as Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway. An elite official cannot have one of these aspects without the other. Knowing a rule, but not being aware of the game situation. So a goaltending example. If I know that the ball can't be on the backboard above the level of the ring on a shot for a try, and the defensive player make contact with the ball. So that's knowing the rule. Seeing the ball hit the backboard on a layup, the defender goes and knocks it away. I see it clearly, but I don't know the rule, does me no good either. So rules knowledge is imperative in game awareness. Game awareness, the game. Officials need to familiarize themselves with aspects of the game of basketball, such as offensive and defensive terminology, punch the gaps, hedge, ice. If I'm refereeing in the trail position, whether it be 2-person or 3-person, and I see that an offensive player is coming to set the screen, and I hear the coach yelling ice, I hear the defensive player yelling ice, I hear everybody in the gym yelling ice, what does that mean?
You're going to have a one-on-one play.
Exactly. So that now allows me to then position adjust and be prepared for that one-on-one play. But if that same play is happening and everybody's yelling ice, and I decide I'm going to look down because I think somebody dropped their drink, well, I'm going to miss that play, right? Punching the gaps on a zone means we're cutting hard and we're punching gaps through the zone. It means we're going to have cutters. We got to make sure that the cutters are respected as their freedom of movement. Their freedom of movement is respected, sorry. So knowing these terminologies, hearing these terminologies throughout the game helps us, gives us clues as to what is going to happen. Basketball moves, the Euro step. If someone does a Euro step and you don't know what a Euro step is, you're going to call, you may call travel, but it's a Euro step. Are you familiar with basketball moves, with the side step, with the gather? Are you familiar with these things? Are you aware of these things? Style of play, right? If we've got a team that's going to run and gun, that probably means we're going to have shots within the 20 to 16 second shot clock range. So we can not necessarily not worry about shot clock violations, but if it's going to be an up-tempo game, we know that there's going to be plenty of shots, plenty of rebounding opportunities, plenty of rebounding activities, all by just understanding and being aware of a team style of play. Tempo change. When there's a tempo change, we talked about that earlier when I asked the question, what's game awareness? Being aware of tempo changes in the game. I've seen it happen tons of times where teams go on a run, coach is asking for a timeout, table officials are so caught up in the game, the timeout opportunity is ignored or missed, and now we have more shit on our hand. But if we have a tempo change of 6 baskets or 6 points, 3 baskets, 4 baskets, 8 points in a row, take a peek over at the bench, see if that coach is wanting a timeout or not wanting a timeout. I'll never forget just a little, stupid story. The reason I think I got my FIBA license was it was at McGill. I was reffing a game. We were in the last 2 minutes of the game, last 30 seconds of the game, and before the resumption of play, the away coach at the time asked, if I score a basket, can I get a substitution? I said, no, you can't score and get a substitution. He still sent his players to the table, 4 players to the table. It's a 2-point game. They score a basket. He asks for a sub. He yells sub. The table buzzes and his players start to walk on the floor. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle, usher them back and say, put the ball in play. Boom, we put the ball in play. And I think that moment of having some awareness of what was going on helped me attain my license. So just being aware of substitutions, timeout requests, stuff like that. by informing themselves, it should be ourselves, by informing ourselves to these normal in-game aspects, this leads officials to game awareness. Game awareness. Awareness in game control, plus communication, plus clock control, plus rules knowledge, plus positioning and play calling, plus the game of basketball equals game awareness. That's it. It's not too late. I'll take any questions if anybody's got any questions. And if there's no questions, I've got 2 more videos we can go through. I mean, they are choppy, but I've definitely got 2 more videos we can go through if there are no questions. But by all means, if we have questions, I'd love to hear some.
So I think the easiest way to do this, instead of making everyone type into the chat, that is if you have a question, you can just use the raise hand function. That will slide your name to the top of the list, and then I'll call on you personally. You can unmute yourself and then go from there. So if there's any questions for Jay, you can fire your hand up now and ask away.
Thank God.
Could be an easy night for you.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I like to hear. All right, cool. Well, I'll show these 2 more videos. Oh, did I do something here? Oh, there you go. So anybody want to put their hand up and let me know where we went wrong here and what is the awareness that we need in this clip? Anybody?
Hey Jay, it's Justin Walsh. I can't find the hand up thing.
No problem.
I gotta think that perhaps none of the crew noticed that the ball went through the hoop.
Well, that makes me too. I didn't notice the ball went through the hoop either.
Okay.
Good pickup. Dave Maxon.
The red player kind of got popped in the face along the baseline, and nobody picked that up. And then he came back around and started the fight.
Okay, there you go. I mean, I noticed that. That's good. Anything else?
I have something I might want to add.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. Somebody might have mentioned already. All 3 officials running into the area rather than maybe a couple stay back so they can see what's going on with a wider scope.
Absolutely. To Dave's point, Dave, great point about the guy getting hit in the face. I think that's something that's just missed. Maybe you didn't have an angle or whatnot. For me, and I'm not saying it's the only thing in this video, and with any other video, there's tons to pick up. But for me, the biggest thing is no one had the awareness that we have a scrum here and all 3 referees are in the scrum. So if anybody comes off the bench, if any punch is thrown at half court, nobody has an idea of what's going on because all 3 referees are in there. So one of the referees, probably one of the outside officials because they're the furthest, must recognize realize that, okay, yes, there's a scrum, but my two partners are going to get in there and I've got to stay back. All right. Next video. This is a bit tougher. I hope this is not choppy. We'll definitely take a look at this. I'll start this from here. I'll start it from here. Look at the game clock. So a couple things I want to just point out in this video. I'll take the volume down just for this one. So we have the white team scoring a basket. The new lead signals last shot. The new lead signals last shot. The new trail acknowledges. Prior to acknowledging, the new trail looks at the clock, so has a rough idea of what time is on the clock. They both signal last shot. When that buzzer goes off, let's see if the ball is still in his hand.
So Jay, the other thing I got to ask with this on the basket at the previous end, this is a FIBA game, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is there any reason? Is this the fourth quarter?
No, this is not the fourth quarter. This is the second quarter.
Okay.
But here we have a situation where the referees communicate adequately. The new lead shows last shot. The new trail not only mirrors, but also takes a peek at the clock and knows that there's about 18 seconds to go. So when there's about 18 seconds to go, the ball gets passed around, shot, air ball, passed out. You've got to have some rumbling in your stomach and be ready for that horn. As soon as that horn goes, you have to react. I think this is a clear indication of a not good field goal attempt. But it's having that awareness. It's having that awareness of, okay, am I at 5 seconds? Am I at 4 seconds? Am I at 10 seconds? I looked at the clock. The clock was at 19. I have my visible count in the backcourt because the shot clock is not visible. So I have my visible count in the backcourt minus that from the 19 seconds that was on the clock when I looked up. This shot now goes up. Should this basket count or not? In my opinion, this basket should not count. There you go. Any questions?
So Jay, I'll throw one in because this is always a common question that comes up. But every referee has that game. They get on the court. You know, you talk about everything before the game that you can possibly talk about in the pregame. Get out, and within the first 5 minutes, something goes wrong. So whether it would be you miss a shot clock, whether it would be, you know, you have that coach that's up barking at you, you don't deal with it. Whether you be a veteran official or a younger official, what's your best way, whether you're a crew chief or not, to kind of rein the crew back in and say, okay, this is what we got to do from here on out?
I think it's just getting back to the basics, basics of officiating, and doing the little things properly, and then things will not necessarily fall back into place, but then you'll gain your confidence. And once you start doing the little things properly and gain your confidence and get into some kind of comfort zone, well, then once you're in your comfort zone, you're at your best officiating capabilities. So it's kind of that you just got to get back to the basics and start doing the little things to kind of get things back on track. Yes, sir.
Jason, so let's take a situation, fourth quarter, 1-point ball game, 26 seconds left to go on the game clock, and the team is taking the ball out of bounds on their, you know, in their back court.
Yeah.
And one of the officials or two of the officials don't pick up the time that there's 26 and, you know, you're coming up the floor with the new 24.
Yeah.
And as he looks up, as the ball's coming down the floor, he says, oh, geez, this is last shot. But he would be incorrect, right?
Yes.
How would you try and fix that? Because you can't blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can't blow the whistle, and you can't necessarily be throwing your hands at the signal. So, I mean, if you inadvertently signal that it's the last shot, you kind of got to live with it and hope that your partners pick up on it. I would say 9 times out of 10, when we signal last shot, even though that's what we should be looking for, our partners take a look at the clock as well. So if I'm refereeing with Dan and Justin Walsh and Justin signals last shot, I'm going to mirror last shot, but I'm also going to take a peek at the clock. And when I take a peek at the clock and realize, hey, it's not last shot, I'm then going to give Justin a scowl and say, what is going on?
Yeah, because it could be critical, because if they put that shot up just before the shot clock expires, and now, of course, the guy underneath, everybody stops, but there's really, let's say, a second left, and he's got the ball. But I had that happen to me in a Brock Mac game, believe me.
Oh, okay.
And Mac rebounded, and they would have had an open shot, but we blew the whistle.
Because you guys thought it was last shot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So even though we do signal last shot, if the clock is visible, I still want, if the clock is visible, I would still want to take a quick peek at the clock, just so I know, last shot can be anything under 14 seconds. He may signal last shot with 3 seconds left, but he signaled it with 14 seconds left. So I'm still going to take a quick look at the clock, just so I know internally what I'm expecting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else? All right. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody else. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you for having me. Thanks, everybody, for having me. These are my new glasses. I'll be repping with them. And no, I'm joking. Thanks for being here. I hope you guys picked up some notes. I will definitely send the presentation off to Dan, and Dan will be able to give it out to everybody.